What's cracking, everybody? Hello and welcome back to Gaming 101 with Mr. Berger. Tonight, I'm going to have my first official guest on voice chat, not counting my pet snake or my girlfriend. Tonight, we're going to take a look at this 3Musketeers deck with Chubby Panda. Now, Chubby, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your in-game name, first of all?
My in-game name is just like my regular name is Chubby Panda, yeah.
Alright, cool. And what's your RL name? What's your real name?
My real name is Angel.
Angel, awesome, dude. My name is Gabriel, who obviously is an angel. So there you go. We got something in common already. So, Chubby, why don't we go ahead and get started with this first replay here, and we'll continue talking. So, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, so, where are you from, Angel?
Currently I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, in the USA.
Awesome, cool. As I was just telling you, one of my best friends, we used to live together near San Diego, and when I moved up here, he moved to Vegas, so maybe you've run into him in the street.
That's nice.
Yeah, so, talk really quickly about your gaming history, or do you even have a gaming history? Like, do you have any experience with other games before you started playing Clash Royale?
Not really. I would, play other games. I always liked strategy games, but I've never really found a good one that I stuck to with. So, yeah, but when I found Clash Royale, I liked the concepts of it and how it worked and how you had to have somewhat of an actual knowledge to actually play. Yeah,
there's a lot of strategy, and I like what you said about liking strategy games. I grew up playing like StarCraft and Diablo and Warcraft 3 and things like that, and those are your classic strategy, like real-time strategy and strategy games. Yeah, so that's cool. So how did you get started playing Clash Royale then?
Well, I had a couple of friends at school that would play the game, and I would look in, and I thought it was kind of dumb. I was like, what's the point of playing this game? But they got me to play it, and once I started playing it, I didn't really like it at first, but I forced myself to play it because my friends played it as well. And gradually, I got better at it, and I started liking it a lot more.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't interested at first because all my students were playing it, but I finally gave it a try because, like you, I really like strategy games, like I just mentioned.
Yeah. And
I'm like, this sounds perfect. Like, I've always been really good at, like, tug-of-war games, which is pretty much what this game is. It's your classic tug-of-war game. So, yeah, that's cool. It sounds like you were interested in it, and that's usually what gets us interested in games, is playing with our friends, right? Playing with our buddies. That's how I started most of my games. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the deck now. So this is a 3Musketeers deck. You got, looks like, 2 legendaries in it? Yeah, 2 legendaries in it. So what's your main win condition in this deck, first of all?
The main win condition is the 3Musketeers, but usually you won't win with the 3Musketeers, it'll be the supporting cards.
Got it. So the support combined with the 3Musketeers is what allows you to kind of win
basically the overall deck. You have to utilize all the cards to the best of their abilities to take the match,
Okay, cool. So it's the combination of everything, the synergy of everything together that allows you to win the match, and that kind of proves to be the win condition. I would like to say that the main win condition is the 3Musketeers, but it sounds to me like it's the combination of everything. And I was going to ask what your alternate win conditions would be. Do you have any alternate win conditions? Any side win conditions, would you say?
You basically want to bait out their big spell with either Minion Horde, Elixir Pump, or 3Musketeers. And when you do bait those out, you can go in for other things like Minor Minion Horde, or you also have the concept of Bridge Spam because you have the Dark Prince and the Bandit, which are great offensive cards.
Awesome, dude. That sounds really good because you have, like, it almost sounds like you have 3 different win conditions now. You have the 3Musketeers and overpowering them with the big beatdown. You have the Bridge Spam potential, and then you have the potential to bait them out and get them with the really powerful combination of the Minor and the Minion Horde. You know, the Minion Horde, it blows up easily, but with the Minor playing the role of a tank for it, it can just destroy a tower. It does so much damage if it connects to a tower. Alright, so let's talk about opening moves next. What would be like your ideal first hand? If you could have your ideal first hand or your ideal first card, what would it be?
My ideal first hand would be the elixir pump, obviously. Ice Golem, Zap, and Dark Prince.
Okay, awesome. So you have all 4 cards ready. Elixir Pump, Ice Golem, Zap, and Dark Prince. And then your first play is going to be the Elixir Pump then?
Yes.
Now let's say that you don't have Elixir Pump and you got a kind of funky hand. What do?
You never really want to cycle any cards. You kind of just want to let them play out, because every single card has a use in this deck. So you have to save your Ice Golem in case they have a minion horde, or Dark Prince in case they have like any type of swarmy cards and they come in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say it's more like kind of wait to see what they do and play reactively then is what you would do if you don't have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of want to see what their deck is.
Okay, got it. Yeah, you figure out what their deck is and kind of react to that until you get that opportunity to place down the pump, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So that's your ideal first hand and what you do if you don't have that ideal first hand. Now, let's talk briefly about the concept behind spell baiting with the 3 Musketeers and the pump. And as you just mentioned, also the minion horde. So what is the benefit of that, and how do you do that really quickly?
So the ideal starting hand is having your elixir pump, and you want to put that down. If they have a poison or a fireball, and they use it on that, then you usually want to see what else they have, because that'll be a regular trade for them. You won't have any extra elixir or minus any elixir, so you kind of just want to see what they have. And when splitting your 3 Musketeers, you always want to split your 2 Musketeers towards the side that you don't want to attack the tower, because the 2 Musketeers look a lot more valuable. So then you support the 1 Musketeer with Dark Prince or Bandit or even an Ice Golem.
Got it.
Minor.
Perfect.
And then
sorry, go ahead.
They're forced to fireball. The 2 Musketeers are really good at a lot of damage, but once you're going for the other tower, it's a split lane push and they can't defend both sides usually.
Got it. Okay, cool. So by the way, I just want to let you know I started the next replay, but it's fine because we're going to keep talking here, so you don't necessarily need to run it too. So this is the P.E.K.K.A. Magic Archer deck that you're going up against here, so we'll see what you do here. You just defended against that P.E.K.K.A. Alright, so let's see. What's your most ideal bait card? Like, let me word that better. What would be the most ideal card for them to use their spell on for you? Now, you got the 3 things, right, that you want to bait out with. So what's the most ideal one for them to use it on?
For me, it would be the minion horde, because your 3 Musketeers give you a lot of value because they split lane push, and the elixir pump, you definitely don't want to have them use. You don't want your elixir pump to die. You want to defend it at all costs, because that will give you more elixir and it'll give you bigger hand in winning the match towards the end of the game.
Got it. Yeah, because the benefit is, gaining the elixir advantage, and elixir pump is the only card in the game that allows you to gain an advantage without doing positive elixir trades and things like that. And it just allows you, since it's a 3 Musketeers deck, it's naturally pretty heavy, right? As far as elixir cost goes. So that elixir pump in there, I would say, is very core. And you want, like you said, keep it alive at all costs. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that elixir pump alive at all costs. You want to protect it when you can, if possible, because it's very important. Alright, now talking about that elixir pump, when and where do you place it, ideally? First of all, if you do have it in your starting hand, where would you place it?
At the beginning of the match, you want to place it in between your 2 towers, right, 1 tile in front of the king tower. This is the best spot in case they have minor, which is a really good legendary right now. In case they minor it, both of your princess towers will target it, and it'll die faster. And if you can correctly determine where their miner position is, you'll keep that miner alive. Yeah, you'll keep your supporting card alive and the elixir pump, because both towers will start shooting it down. And in case they have rocket, if they rocket your elixir pump, they can't chip any of your princess towers, and they won't get extra value with it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the worst enemy of the elixir pump is the rocket, because it's an equal elixir trade. So if you place it in the bottom left or bottom right corner, like we're looking at in the replay here, there's one in the bottom left corner there. That one allows it to be chipped away, allows it to get chip damage on the tower. But there's also another one where you mentioned the opening placement, right in front of your king tower, and that positioning right there, if it's directly in front of your king tower like that, makes it so that they cannot hit both the elixir pump and the princess tower. So that makes it a lot better for you, because the last thing you want is them, getting value on your princess tower. That's where you place the pump. Now, when do you place it if you don't have it in your starting hand? When else would you place it?
So you do want to fill out their deck at first. If they start rushing you, you want to defend with low elixir, as low as elixir as possible,
right,
and get the positive elixir trade.
Right.
And once you know you have the positive elixir trade, you have more elixir than them, you can pump up safely without having them to punish you.
Got it. And wow, I just saw something here. Looks like you put a pump down and he fireball and zapped it and got chip damage on the tower, and that completely destroyed the pump. I didn't realize a fireball plus a zap destroys a pump, and that's an equal elixir trade plus the chip damage on your tower, huh?
Yeah, and it usually doesn't kill your elixir pump, but because my cards are under-leveled for where I am in my arena,
right,
it does die to it, because he does have maxed out stuff. Got
it. Oh, his fireball is maxed?
It's close to max, but it's level 10, but my elixir pump is level 9, and the zap is maxed out, so it does kill it.
Yeah, those card interactions really change on ladder because of the level differentiation.
Yeah.
So like I was telling you earlier, I just maxed out my zap, so now I instantly kill level 11 and lower minions and minion hordes, so it's great. And level 12 goblins too, so level 12 goblin gang, gone in one zap. So we gotta keep that in mind. Tournament standard level, it would be a little bit different, huh? It wouldn't die to a fireball and zap. The elixir pump. Alright, cool. So that's something to keep in mind. It wouldn't die to the fireball and zap at tournament standard level, but ladder's a little different. Alright, so single elixir versus double elixir. Before you get into double elixir time, how do you play differently, and what do you change when you're in double elixir?
In single elixir, you just want to build up the elixir advantage.
Got it.
And once you make it to double elixir, you can take damage in single elixir, because this is a beatdown deck, so you can punish very hard later on in the match, because you most likely will have the heavier deck and you'll be having the elixir advantage.
Okay, cool.
And single elixir, I usually don't play my 3Musketeers during single elixir, but if I absolutely have to, I will. Okay,
awesome. That's good to know. So usually you save the 3Musketeers for double elixir time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now you got, it looks like 3 mini tanks in here. So what is the importance of your mini tanks, and why do you choose those 3? Or it looks like you almost got 4, including the bandit.
Yeah, well, mainly, this is mostly like the regular 3Musketeer deck. It's just that instead of Battle Ram, you have Dark Prince, and instead of Bandit, and instead of Goblin Gang, you have Bandit.
Got it.
So, this is mainly like the regular 3Musketeer deck, and this, Dark Prince just got a buff, and it makes it a great offensive card. So, yeah, I substituted that in, and instead of Goblin Gang, Bandit offers more of like a bridge spam type, and yeah, so I decided to put that in.
Cool. Yeah, that Bandit and Dark Prince combo is really sick. That's awesome.
And
go ahead.
Instead of like most people will put like a knight instead of an ice golem, but the ice golem plus zap kills minion hordes, minions, and goblins, which are pretty pesky to deal with at times.
Yeah, totally. And plus Knight just got nerfed like twice in a row. My poor knight. He was my favorite card before that. And I noticed, honestly, because I've been playing Lava Loon a lot, or not Lava Loon, but a Lava Hound deck a lot, that everybody's got a minion horde. Like, I see it all over the place, so you're going to probably see a lot of those. What's your most difficult matchup?
Usually it would be like any type of cycle deck, like an X-Bow cycle, Mortar cycle, or even Hog cycle, because a lot of times they can, if they use their poison like on your elixir pump, they can cycle back to it quickly when you put down your 3 Musketeers, so they'll always have like an answer for your 3 Musketeers or your minion horde. And usually a hard matchup would also be any like giant double prince or golem double prince.
Oh, the double prince combo.
Yeah, because you in this deck you don't have like a real good tank killer, so it's hard to deal with that tank by itself, and let alone all the supporting cards.
Got it. Okay, cool. So cycle decks are kind of your bane, and it's also they can cycle out to like their fireball or whatever, kick quicker and destroy all your spell bait cards and stuff. So what's really quickly, there's a benefit to like leveling out and maxing your 3 Musketeers. I just want to touch up on that, and that's like if you have max level 3 Musketeers, the bane of the Musketeers is the fireball, but if you have max level 3 Musketeers, no fireball can instantly kill them. So that's good to know for having that on ladder.
That's on ladder. It's if you're planning on running this deck, you mainly have to have your 3 Musketeers leveled up.
So one of your tips that you mentioned was anticipating their intentions, feeling out their deck, and playing defensively at first. Is that fair to say? Yeah, and then just kind of like figuring out their counters, saving those 3 Musketeers for the right time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Card replacements really quickly. It looks like you opened with elixir pump there, and he poisoned. How do you feel about that?
Well, I know that most likely he won't have any good counter for my minion horde, so I instantly go in for minor minion horde.
Oh man, yeah, look at that benefit. Oh, he zaps it, but look, let's see how much damage it does here. Dude! Look at that. Like, that's basically, you got that tower, essentially. Like, I mean, you didn't get it, but almost dead. So, would you put a log in the place of zap if your zap is underleveled?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't because a lot of the key features of Zap is that it kills like minion horde with the ice golem death damage, and with log you don't have a good answer for air troops, and you'll lack it because the air targeting troops on this are the minion horde and the 3 Musketeers, and if you don't, those are high elixir cost cards, so if you don't have that, you'll pretty much die to air troops.
Yeah, and I just saw there that you had Zap, and he had Bats and Inferno Dragon, and you had to have something to answer that.
Yeah.
And you told me the 3 Musketeers and Pump, there's no replacements for them, right?
Yeah, because they're the main feature for this deck.
Okay, cool. And what about Dark Prince? Would you still run Battle Ram?
Yeah, you could run Battle Ram. It's still a good card.
And Miner, is there any replacement for Miner or Bandit?
Bandit, I guess you could go in for like another 3 elixir card for like Knight, because Knight is still a pretty good tank right now.
Yeah.
And for Miner's a tough card. I guess it would be another key element to this deck as well.
Yeah, so you kind of can't really replace the Miner.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had to, I'd say another mini tank, but I don't know. You already got the Ice Golem in there. It'd be weird. It'd be awkward to put a Knight and an Ice Golem in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and just, at this point, just run through the replay.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking at this point in the replay? Are you at the same spot with me?
Yeah, so I knew he had just used his poison on my elixir pump, so I split my 3 Musketeers, and I went in with Minion Horde. And at this point, it's basically over because I took both towers. Yeah. And it was a 3 crown. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just used the 3 Musketeers aggressively there at the end.
Yeah,
almost
just
like placing them in the pocket. Do you like placing stuff in the pocket from time to time, or the 3 Musketeers in the pocket?
When you absolutely have to finish the match, yeah, it'll be the best decision to do this. So. Yeah,
I love it. I love seeing that when you place it in the pocket and it just annihilates their second Princess Tower. Such a great feeling. But then, of course, you got to make sure that they don't have like a fireball or something in hand that's just going to instantly positive elixir trade it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like you didn't have elixir pump, or did you? I'm sorry, did you have elixir pump
No.
there? I wasn't paying attention. No, you didn't.
No.
So you opened with like Dark Prince in the back to counter the princess?
He opened up with Spirit Goblins, and I just defended with a regular Ice Golem, just to fill out what he had. And here I realized he had used his miner, and I was getting the sense that it was a kind of like a Zap Bait deck.
Yeah.
So I placed it in the middle, and here he was forced to use it. He over-committed with that bandit with the with his Mega Knight, but then I decided to go for Ice Golem Minion Horde, and I didn't know he had bats in hand. So he had cycled. That was a good play on him.
Yeah.
He killed my Minion Horde, and he got a lot of damage on my tower.
Yeah, but it looks like you were able to shut it down pretty well. Like, it didn't get too much damage on the tower, and in the heat of all that, you got an elixir pump ticking away there, right?
So here I knew he would go for my miner, and I was able to predict it right. So then that bandit that I defended with was able to counter push.
Yep.
And distracted the Inferno Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah. So the bandit that you placed down countered his miner, and it also distracted the Inferno Dragon. So that was really good.
Yeah.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
And it put pressure, so he had to defend.
Yeah. Anytime you defend with something and it survives and goes into the opposing lane, a lot of units present a lot of threat if they're not answered. You know what I mean? Like a skeleton army unanswered will do a ton of damage to a tower. It's insane. Now let's talk about the placement of the bandit there. How did you know he was going to go place his miner to the left of the elixir pump and not on top or not onto the right? Was it just a lucky guess?
It was just a lucky guess.
Alright, awesome. Good
a lot
guess
of the
there.
time you just have to... A lot of the time it will sway to the right or left.
Uh-huh.
So then you can determine if it'll be to the right or the left pretty much, but you can't determine if it'll be in the middle.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I just thought about what you just said, and that's absolutely right. Looks like that princess is chipping away at your right tower. Are you worried about that?
Kind of. So then I drag the Ice Golem.
Uh-huh.
And once the Mega Knight kills it, the death damage, because the princess is already low, will die.
Yeah, just blew her up. That was awesome. Great. Good play there. Alright, at this point you use the miner to kill the princess. I love using miners offensively like that to kill their support units.
Yeah.
Alright, 3 Musketeers. Why do you play it above there and not in the back?
Just because there's not a lot of time left.
Uh-huh.
And so I just go in for the kill at this point.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you get up there before the time runs out, right? So you can place it behind your king tower. And another reason I was thinking is then they're less susceptible to like being fireballed or whatever spell they have, right? If they're not behind the king tower.
And that was a difficult matchup because Mega Knight is still a pretty good card in my eyes. And it's definitely a good match against 3 Musketeers.
Yeah, totally.
So I decided to go in with 1 Musketeer on the higher king tower because I knew he would use his Mega Knight on whatever I used for the 2 Musketeers, so I just went all in on the 1 Musketeer side and finished up the match like that.
Okay, awesome, dude. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we kind of wrap it up here?
I guess like what I talked about earlier, anticipation to the intention.
Yep.
Once you figure out what type of deck they're running, so like perhaps like a log bait deck with Goblin Barrel and Knight, and you see that they have like a healthy Knight coming in, you can most likely tell that they'll push in with a Goblin Barrel as well. So you put down your Dark Prince in the back, and once that charges up, it can kill the Goblin Barrel in one shot, and you won't have to worry about it. It'll kill the Knight afterwards, and it'll counter push.
Yeah, awesome, dude.
And even if they don't put the Goblin Barrel, that Dark Prince will still kill the Knight and still put pressure. So that'll work out. And if you're facing like a graveyard deck and you can see that they're gonna put down an Ice Golem, then graveyard, you put down your Dark Prince to kill, or your Bandit to kill the Ice Golem first, and then you worry about the graveyard.
Got it, yeah. So it's about, prioritizing, knowing what to prioritize and and when to play things and when to
Yeah.
counter, and feeling out their deck and when to play your things safely, right?
Yeah.
And of course, that spell bait element of it is very important.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your stats right now. Best season 48-38. So you're relatively high trophies. You're definitely higher than me. So you definitely know what you're talking about here. I appreciate you coming on the channel. Any other last things you want to throw in there?
Just thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you taking the time to come out here and be on my channel and always leaving me positive comments. Any shout outs to your clan or friends or anything like that?
A shout out to my friend Derek. He's been helping me out train a lot on learning specific card placements, and he's been a good friend of mine. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, so shout out to Derek. It's good to have friends that are able to help you out with games. When I started playing World of Warcraft, the best time of it was playing with my buddies after school, so I have fond memories of that. Okay, cool. So thanks so much for coming on. One last thing, I went ahead, and this has nothing to do with you, but just for my channel, I added a little PayPal, what would I call it, donation button on my channel if anybody ever absolutely loves me and wants to donate a couple bucks to help me get like a better webcam or something like that. I don't expect anybody to at this point, but I just wanted to let people know that I put that out there. I'm slowly taking these little steps to grow my channel and make it a little bit better. So thanks everybody for watching.